Hello everyone. Do a little job on the BMW Z3. Well, basically the grommet that seals the aerial onto the back wing has worn. It's loose, so we're going to replace it. And this is where we are. It's on the back rear wing, rear quarter, and it's actually loose. The antenna just unscrews. Even the little chrome ring, and you can see the grommet there. You can see quite clearly there it's split. And I think it's probably leaking into the vehicle. So we're going to replace that. This is the grommet that I've got to replace the existing one with. I got it off eBay. I'm not sure if that's a part number or it's just something from the shop or whatever, but basically you can see what it is. It just slides into position and fits on the wing and seals it all. I've done a bit more research after I bought this, and basically some of them have got like a little channel or recess in it which clips into the wing. This one just seems to slide into position and is held down with the when you screw the antenna on. Hopefully it'll be okay, but we'll see. So let's see if we can get it fitted. Right, when you're working on old cars, it never just happens to be one job. So we've got into the boot. Now the cover in the side has obviously been out before because it's loose. There's a couple of holes where plastic fixings to secure it have been, but you can see in there it's a little bit dirty. No serious rust, seam sealer everywhere, but no problems up to now. And what we'll do is we'll clean this, take everything out, clean it, and we'll go into lana guard it. Now you can see in there, there's the bolt that secures the antenna. Okay, there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to clean the carpets in the back of this thing. Give them a good hoover and a good clean. Right, at some point we've had a little creature that's been nibbling away at my interior. You can see the evidence there. That's what he's been nibbling on there. So how he's got in, I don't know. But we're going to have to strip more stuff out just to see if we can find. There must be a hole somewhere that he's got in. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. Anyway, on the plus side, up to now, looks quite solid in here. Doesn't seem to be any bad rust or holes anywhere that I can see. I think the next thing to do now is to get the the tools out, the tool tray out, and see if there's anything underneath there. Done. A closer look at this tool tray. It seems to be held in with a plastic 10mm bolt there, and the spare wheel carrier seems to be holding it down as well. The tools seem to be in rather good condition. Everything seems to be here, and on a plus note, there's the fixings that they've took out for the carpet that holds the carpet down. So what we need to get a 10mm to undo that. Back in a sec. Right, so just undoing that plastic retaining nut there. There it is, it's off. Put that in there. Like this part of the tool tray is now clear, but it seems to be held down with this. Now then, you need to get a spanner for that, I think. How does that come out? There we go, the handle is the release mechanism, so we'll just slacken that off. And so this handle here appears to be the release mechanism. Slide down onto the nut and twist it off. Right, and that makes that loose. I'll just take that off completely. There we go, that's off. That slides up there. Now then, we can move the toolbox to one side. It's difficult to do with one hand. There you go, this doesn't seem to be any bad rust under here. It's obviously evidence of someone being down here before. Oh, football card there. There won't be his holes where our little friend could have gone in. And there's no evidence of any bad water leaks or retention or anything like that. Maybe down there, let's see. That there is something to do with the alarm, I believe. So we'll have to see if we can get that moved. Right. There's evidence of some water getting in down there, but there's no puddling in anywhere, and I can't see any holes at the moment. Hopefully it's just been coming in through that grommet. Right, we seem to be getting diverted from our original job. I can't work out how to separate that from the I'll work out how to separate this from the toolbox. Because I'd like to clean that up, get it out and get it all cleaned up. Anyway, back to the job in hand. Now, first things first, you can see a bit better if I put a light on the situation. There. Let's undo that 10mm there. Oh, there we go. Take that off there. There's the ground. and the whole thing just drops out. Now then, there it is, all dropped out. There's the rubber grommet, totally mullered. Nice. There's the two together. You can see quite a difference in size there. It looks similar, but the hole in the middle seems to be much bigger. And this is totally wrecked. It's just must have been absolutely gushing in when it was raining. Now then, from what I can make out, this is contoured to the shape of the vehicle. Goes up. What's that? So that just, I think it goes over there first. That goes over there first, and this thing fits up there. It's double skinned underneath here. You can see the hole where the antenna slides up, and then it's bolted up, pushed through, the grommet is pushed through that hole, and then it's bolted up with the 10mm, tightened up into place, and that's what holds it all together. Now, so what I'm going to do firstly is I'm going to get some grease. I've got some, you can use silicone grease, but I've got some plumber's grease, which we used to use on the rubbers on the inside of waste fittings and things. So it's designed not to corrode rubber, so I'm going to use that, put some on there and get this on there first. Bracket's not too bad. Could do, obviously the connection there, could do with a bit of a clean. This is where the earth or the ground joins onto the mounting bracket for the antenna. The electrical connection just goes in the back there. That's here, and I've just disconnected that for now. So my next thing really is to get that little ground off and give it a clean. So I'll put some penetrate nylon there we go, little dose of that. And I don't know if I'll be able to do this one-handed, but it's a little 7mm nut. No, I'll have to hold it. It's a little 7mm nut. I'll take it off and get back to you. Right, so what we've done, right, is we've cleaned up the connections for the ground on the antenna and the bracket. We've cleaned the bracket up as best we can. What we're going to do now is we're going to wipe this whole area down here and give it a coat of Lanagard. I'm going to try and get some up inside there as well. See this hole up here? There, where the antenna fits through, the antenna fits through there. Get the wand down there and try and blast some in. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll get some panel wipe and we'll give it all a wipe down. Right, like I say, when you work on these old cars, one job migrates to another. This is something, I think this is the alarm module. I'm not sure, but I know it has something to do with the alarm. Now, there's obviously been some water ingress down there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up with wax oil, basically. I'm going to fill it up with Lanagard. Now, I've put some, this is the bracket on this has rusted. It's only held in with these two nuts. There's a bracket there, and those two nuts, you just slacken those two nuts off there and slide it on and then tighten it up, and it holds it in place. But the bottom of this bracket has obviously rusted, and it's swelled inside the tracks that hold it on. This module slides into place on there. I have put some penetrating oil on it and tried to free it, but the rust has swelled up inside and it's not going to come off. Now, If you look at the connections at the back, you can see that there's some green there and it's obviously been damaged, so there's work to be done on that. It works for now, but I'm going to try and get a new one of those and refurbish this bracket and put a new module on and clean the connections. And I'm going to lanyard guard down there and up inside there, up inside the hole up there where the antenna body fits. So I'm going to get my lanyard guard and shove some in there. It's just this stuff that I'm using, a litre with a hand spray on the top, and I'm just going to spray it in there in the bottom. That's that done. Now I'm going to put this module back in temporarily. Slide that in there like that. Tighten it into place. 10mm socket. I can't do it with one hand, so I'll have to get back after. Right, there's the module back in place, just bolted into position, and you can see it's still wet. It's just some lanyard guard shoved in there. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get this wand and I'm going to shove this down the aerial hole, so to speak, and spray some lanyard guard on there. So let me get... Right, I've attached the wand to the lanyard guard spray, and I'm going to slide it in there and push it down as far as I can there, and I'm going to spray the lanyard guard in there and then down the other side. Okay, right, like I said, you've got this little tiny tub of plumber's grease. Just put a little bit I'm just going to put a bit on the end of the antenna, on the end of the thing for the antenna, and a little bit inside the grommet. Now, first of all, the gaiter, let's try to do this with one hand, I'm sorry. The gaiter goes inside. The gaiter goes inside like that. Pops on. Now, the next thing is the grommet. Come here. I can't put me tripod up because it's windy and it'll blow over and break my camera. But I might have to try it. Right, I've managed to mount my camera on a mini tripod in the boot of the car. Now I've put the gaiter on that, just slides on. Now this thing here slides on there. It should pop on, but it's a bit, this seems to be quite stiff and hard plastic, and it's quite difficult. It doesn't want to go. does not want to go on. The only thing I can think of really is to leave it in some hot water for a bit. See if it softens up. It's not going to be... Oh, it's not going nowhere. Right, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and have a cup of coffee, and I'm going to leave this in some boiling water, try and soften it up, warm this up and have a cup of coffee. Right, I've had this grommet soaking in boiling water, hot water. It's gone on. It's going on. Get on me, you devil. Right, it's gone on. Now then, to orientate it to suit the vehicle, like that. Get the bracket. Let's clamp this all together again. Right, so we've got a little 7mm nut securing the thing in with this little ground on it as well. Put that in there. Fiddly. Let's tighten the little screw up, the clamp. Give that a nip. Should do it now then. This thing goes, as you can see, this thing goes up in the, sliding up the gator and the grommet. The unit with the gator and the grommet on slides up through the big hole in the bottom and locates onto that and locates onto this stud here. Nice. So what we've got to do, get the connections, the ground connections back on it. Get that nut on. And then what I'm going to try and do is force that up and tighten it up at the same time. Force it up hard against the bodywork. That's it. Give it a nip with the socket. Right, okay. So that forms a seal as it goes through the top on the on the wing, the quarter panel. Let's see if I can get some metal polish and clean this up a little bit. It's a bit pitted. I don't know if I can get another one. I don't know if I can get another one. It's a bit pitted, so I'll just have to do what I can with it. Right, I've managed to get the grommet, sorry, the cover ring that fits over the grommet to fit on. It's a little bit pitted, but that's the best I can do with it. I don't think I'll get another one. I've tightened the antenna down onto it, and it's now a good tight fit, and it's not rattling around like the other one was. So the likelihood of that being able to leak now is quite slim. I sort of lanyarded inside, and I've lanyarded down the bottom there. We're going to try and get a new one of these modules for the alarm, and refit that and refurbish the bracket. That's a later video. Now, the last thing we've got to do here is just fit the electrical connection. It goes in there, like that. Done. That bit's done. Now then, need to I can't get the tool tray out. This bracket thing here, I'm not sure how it comes off yet. I think you have to take the tool tray off and loosen it that way, but I'm going to work around it. I've cleaned up that side of the boot up. I'm going to have a look at this side now. I'm going to have a look at this side, so just get my tools out the way. Like I said, something in the past has been living in this thing. As I mentioned earlier, these jobs, once you start doing something on these old cars, you start undoing stuff, things tend to grow. Now what I've noticed is the little red transport plug was still on the battery, so I've took that off. But also it's got, it should have some kind of vent as well. See, the pipe's there, but it doesn't, nothing for it to connect to, so the little fitting off the end has obviously been lost. But also, more worryingly, is the battery hasn't got a retaining bolt. So if I was ever involved in an accident and it rolled, this battery would tip upside down. I know it's embedded in the bottom of the car, but it should be bolted down. It's actually got you can see it's got part of the retaining clip, part of the securing system in the bottom there. I would imagine most batteries, well, all batteries I've ever come across have always been bolted down. So we're going to have to make some research and see if it's needed. Right, also I want to lift the battery out because there's obviously been some water ingress in the past. I'm going to lanyard down the bottom there and down the bottom underneath the battery just to protect the boot a little bit. And in the future, what we're going to do is we're going to take the spare wheel carrier out, clean it all out, and refurbish that part, because that is a little bit rusty underneath the car, and I want to see the condition of the spare wheel. So let's undo the battery, get it out and see what's underneath there. Okay, now we've removed the battery, and you can see that the part of the battery retaining system clamps is there, the bottom part is there, and there's some kind of retaining retaining nuts there to tighten the battery down. It's missing, so I need to do a bit of research and see if I can get one, and if not, I should be able to just make something to clamp it down. It just needs a piece of steel with a hole in it, so that I can put a bolt in and tighten it down, tighten the battery down. That's not a problem. However, what I did notice was the bolt from the clamps the live connection onto the battery is totally missing. The one on the neutral, the earth, is still there. So what I'm going to do is put this one on the live and get a new earth strap to clamp on, take that off and put a new earth strap on. But before I do that, this thread has been a little bit mullered, a little bit butchered, so I just need to run a tap, the dye on there, and just clean the thread a little bit. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll put the battery back. Okay, when you put the battery in, it covers these holes, so there's nothing to hook the retaining clamp in for the battery. So I'm going to have to come up with a cunning plan. I might have to weld something on so I can clamp the battery down, because if it's an MOT failure, it never mattered last time, because the MOT examiner never opened the boot and had a look. But if you get a conscientious one who decides to have a look and the battery's loose, it's going to fail the MOT. So I'll have to come up with something to fix the battery in. But that's for another day. What I'm going to do for now is just clean this with some panel oil and give it a coat of wax oil, a coat of Lanagard. I keep saying wax oil, it's not wax oil, it's Lanagard. Give it a coat of Lanagard and put some in there as well. So I'll get that done, and then I'll put the battery back, and I'll get back to you when that's finished. Okay, I'm just going to put some Lanagard in here. I'm going to put some Lanagard in here now. And the bottom of this one as well. Now, just so if any damp does get in, it's not going to, it's got a better chance of, the car's got a better chance of surviving, hasn't it? Right, now then, I'll lift the battery into place, and then we can deal with some of these things that we've found over a period of time, and definitely before the next MOT. So I'll put the battery in place and then get back to you. Right, it's the battery in place temporarily for now. Got to get a new battery clamp and a new ground lead, earth lead. This one now, the live is firmly clamped on, and I've sprayed Lanagard underneath everywhere. So if any water ever does get in there, it's unlikely, or there's less chance of it doing any damage. Okay, now then, I'm going to lift that into place, put this back, That's everything back there now. Just need to tidy it up a bit and give it a clean. I'm going to put my tools away for now and finish this in the morning. Right, the headlight bulb is obviously blown. You can see it's all stained inside. Now the bulb basically just pushes in and twists out. See if I can do it one-handed. Yeah, there we go. And I thought I had. There you go. So these are the bulb which we got from Halfords. Now it's the right one. It's a number 382 P21W, and we got two of them in a pack. So let's get one out and just see if it's the same. There we go. Yeah, it's identical. So let's put it in the holder. Let's put it back in the holder. And that's the bulb located. Now then, this bulb just goes in. It just goes in and twists into the holder. Put it in, twist. And there it is. Now that should be it. Nice simple little job. All this has come as a result of doing the antenna grommet. Now, just checking stuff as we're going along. One of the things we checked last time was there was a little creature living inside, at some point, living inside my boot, and I think it's coming up where there was a grommet missing underneath this little container, storage container here. Now, originally the little securing bolt, this thing here, was loose and it was in the tool compartment. So lift that out. Now then, look inside. I thought there was a hole, but there isn't. No, I thought I saw a hole. No, I'm sure there was a hole missing at the back there. Get some of this stuff out. All just lifts out this. Oh, unless it was underneath the battery. No, I thought I'd found where it had got in, but obviously not. It's not there. No. Nothing. Right. Ah, there it is. It's under the battery compartment. Now we need to undo the battery, so I'll put this quick release thing on the battery here. These are brilliant, these. I'll put a new terminal on the battery, quick release, and it has this little handle which screws in and out and isolates your battery. So if you park your car up, you can just unscrew it and take it with you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo these two terminals. Now what I had to do was, this nut here was on the old the ground wire here, and I had to put a new terminal on here because the nut was missing. The nut was missing off the live here, and I had to take, because it's a special nut and it clamps underneath and it clamps it together as you tighten it up. I couldn't get one of those, so I had to buy a new ground wire and put a new terminal on. So I put the quick release, the isolation terminal on here, a new one. So I'm going to undo them now so I can get at the rubber grommets. And what I've done is I've bought a box of grommets. Bought this box of ceiling grommets from Amazon. Hopefully one of those will fit. Now I've also bought a new elbow to connect the vent pipe to the side of the battery, which was also missing. So this should just, that just goes in the side there, and I'll connect that pipe to the old pipe because it was undone and missing. The grommet was just missing, so obviously whoever's changed the battery in the past has just pulled the elbow off and lost it. So I got a new one of them, put that on. Now there's also the battery clamp is missing from here. Now I've also got a battery clamp as well, a second-hand new one, which I'm also going to fit. So I'll just go and get those bits and get the battery out, and then I'll get back to you. And what I've done is I've welded that nut on there to accept the stud that clamps the battery down. That stud screws in there, and this clamp, when you put the battery on, that clamp, it tightens that clamp down onto the bottom of the battery. I couldn't really show you the welding because it's down the bottom of the battery tray, and it's only a tack weld on a nut. I've just put a nut on and tack welded it, and I've given it a coat of primer. I'm just letting that primer dry, and then I'll lather everything again in Lanagard, and I'll put some anti-seize on this nut here, on this bolt here, and I'll put it back in. So I'm just going to give it 10 minutes to flash off, and then it's a really hot day today, and then I'll put Lanagard in and put the battery in. Right, the battery's in place now. I've just given this bottom of this battery clamp a spray of paint, and I've actually laddered the thread in anti-seize grease, so when we clamp it down it should be okay. There, we've got that started now. It's a little 10mm bolt. Let's clamp that down. There we go. There we go, and that battery is now not as solid as you thought. Yeah, that battery is now clamped down. Right, that's the battery clamped down now. So what we got now is we've ordered one of these elbows, vent elbows, to connect the vent back up to the battery. This is the existing tube which we're going to feed in underneath there and then connect onto the side there like that. Alright, that's the vent elbow connected to the battery. Now all that remains now is to connect the battery terminals. beauty of these connectors, it's not connected until you put the terminal, the what's it called? What can you really describe that? Well, the link, I suppose, on the clamp. Just don't realise how difficult things are when you're trying to do them one-handed. Hold the camera in the other hand, it's just weird. I'll have to put it down. Right, so that's the battery terminals all connected up now. The vent's on, the battery's clamped down. Next thing really is to clear all my tools out. Put all the padding back, all the carpets back, and tidy up. So I'll just get my stuff out of the car. Put the pieces of carpet back in first. That goes in that way. In there. Now this little tray, there's a little like a little storage tray, and it's got a little nut that clamps down onto the nut that holds the spare wheel in place, and that holds the tray, stops it rattling round. Now that was missing originally. Just got to locate it, and it just tightens down by hand, not too tight, and that stops the tray rattling about, and it holds the carpet in place. Lastly, we've got the piece of carpet and the board that goes down on top of the toolkit, which we've cleaned up. There we are, goes in. Right, now what have we done to this car? We started off with the antenna grommet. We did the antenna grommet. We fixed that. As a result of doing that, we had to remove the carpets to get at it, at the bolt underneath, and we found that we'd had a creature in the back of the boot that had been eating away at some of the foam, and it got in because a rubber bung was missing underneath the battery. Now the battery clamp, we found the battery clamp was broken, we found the vent was missing off the battery, so we ordered a battery clamp, we fitted that, and we had to weld a nut in on the bottom of the car to hold that in place. We've lanyard guarded everything that we can get to, and we've also discovered a problem with the alarm rectifier underneath there's a module for the alarm underneath here, underneath there. Now I've been unable to get one of those, but I'm still looking, and I am going to replace that, because the alarm has been quite temperamental, and it's got to be down to that unit. all the connections were green, and I'm frightened to mess about with it too much because I don't want to immobilise it completely. So it just shows you with these old cars that just by doing a simple little job on the antenna, you could end up going off on a tangent in all different directions. But that's just the way they are. That's the way these old cars are. You've just got to try and keep on top of them. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. And I hope that some of what I've done has been some use to you. Okay, thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.